Today I'm taking on a topic that might surprise you, when debt actually makes sense. While debt can feel overwhelming, there are smart ways to leverage it for both personal and business success. Let's dive into how to use debt wisely on today's Money Minutes. Hi, I'm Mike McMeans, president of Silverling Financial. Welcome again to Money Minutes. If you've ever been in debt or if you are currently in debt, you know how debilitating it can feel. Every month you look at the accounts for the amounts you owe and think, man, if I only had X amount of money, I'd pay that off right away. I have felt the same way. I've had good debt, I've had bad debt, and I have felt the weight of waste, paying money on money you've borrowed. It's a feeling that gets more and more awful the longer it goes on. Dave Ramsey and some others have taken on the lion's share of helping the American public get rid of debt and to be debt-free and only operate in the black. For the Amish and others, zero debt is even a spiritual imperative. And as long as that is not you, when can debt be a good thing? I encourage people to think about debt in two parts. Personal debt, such as credit cards, home and car loans, and loans to and from family, and business debt, such as rental mortgages, business debt, and borrowing to buy a producing business. In my opinion, it's important to delineate these two types. So moving forward, it's about the debt you personally have and the debt you have for commercial investment. Huge caveat here, if you can't handle debt, don't have it. Said another way, if you find yourself wasting money on interest rates because you don't pay things off every month, you can't handle debt, and that's okay. What's to follow assumes that you can handle debt and that you want to, and many people just can't. On the personal side, a car rate or home rate under 5% is debt that is worth having if you ask me. I know that isn't necessarily what some debt elimination gurus would preach, but I have found that people get a lot out of having money socked away. And this allows you to sock away money in retirement accounts and elsewhere sooner. Not to mention that if managed even reasonably well, you can make much more than the 5% or less it's costing you to own the debt. The only other exception to this would be school debt. Just don't borrow more than you'll make in your first year working and then pay 1% a month until it's gone, which will take about 10 years. Also, debt payments should not exceed 25% of income. Just abide by that rule. On the business side, I have absolutely no problem with a loan to value of 40% or less, and you could go as high as 50% and still be very conservative. What that means is that you have a business or a piece of real estate worth $1 million, you should feel very comfy borrowing up to $400,000 as long as the cost doesn't compromise cash flow. Usually, that means we need commercial rates on loans of 6% or less. The interest on that loan is also tax deductible to the business, creating some embedded tax efficiency in the long-term value of the enterprise. There is a lot of nuance here, but debt on a business venture can be very wise. Feel free to leave your comments below and feel free to follow us on social media or connect with us on our website. I'm Mike McMeans, president of Silverling Financial, and thank you for watching. Speaking of debt, I once knew a guy who was so in debt that he couldn't afford to pay his electric bill. He told me that those were the darkest days of his life. We'll see you next time.